Now at 10, a deadly house fire in Tooele. What we're now learning about the woman who was not able to escape. Plus, a messy morning commute from Monday's storm, when we can expect more snow to hit the state. And a father speaking out after his daughter's murder. The new details he's sharing about the investigation into the murder of 4 University of Idaho students.
Live, we're there for you. ABC4 News at 10 starts now.
And welcome to the ABC4 News at 10 o'clock. I'm Emily Flores.
And I'm Glenn Mills. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. We're learning more about the woman who police say has died in a house fire. That happening early this morning. ABC4's Courtney Johns joining us live from the scene of where it happened in Tooele tonight with that information. Courtney.
Glenn, driving by this house this evening, you may not even realize that a fire had happened other than seeing the caution tape behind me. But police say when they got here, the flames were so strong, as well as the smoke, that they weren't able to rescue the woman inside. This all happened a little before 11 this morning near 425 West and 500 South. Authorities say they believe it started in the bottom half of the home and moved to the top. Tooele City Police say firefighters were able to put the flames out quickly, and they immediately went back into the home when this happened, trying to save the woman's life.
She had a faint pulse at the time that they located her. We brought her outside to a safe location here outside the house and began life-saving measures, but sadly she ended up passing away.
Should be powered up now.
Well, police are not releasing the woman's name at this time. They do tell us she was in her 70s and did live in the home with several family members. Now, the state fire marshal's office is investigating the cause of this fire, but police tell us they do not suspect foul play. Reporting live in Tooele, Courtney Johns, ABC4 News.
All right, let's head over for a first look at the forecast on this Tuesday.
Chief Meteorologist Alana Brophy tracking the latest, and it is cold out there, Alana.
Oh, it's frigid. Those temperatures continuing to drop. We had an active pattern. What a storm. Let's start with those snow totals. We're going to look at the mountains. Love to see the high country picking up great totals. Powder Mountain getting 21 inches, Brighton at 18, Solitude at 15 inches, well over a foot throughout the high country. Out in Snowbird, 17 inches, 20 inches. Love to see those numbers. We know this storm came through and really performed that lake effect band. Definitely delivering a punch this morning. This is what it looked like when the plows were out there on I-15. Crews have been working tirelessly, and we still have some snow showers holding on in the northwestern corner of the state. You can see the snow moving in towards Park Valley as well as Cache Valley. Now this system and these showers will stay to the north of the bulk of the Wasatch Front, but we could see some additional snow showers, and it's cold out there, so that's going to ice up really quickly. We had the front move through, and that just dragged that Arctic air into the Beehive State. If you've stepped out after the sun went down, gosh, you know those numbers continuing to tumble. Here's a look at what to expect when it comes to the numbers heading into tonight. We're already in the 20s, dropping to the teens in several locations with single digits on deck. An active pattern is setting up. What that means for our next storm and our next punch of snow coming up in my full forecast in just a few moments. Glenn, Emily, over to you.
Thanks so much, Alana. The impact of yesterday's storm continuing into this morning's commute. Utah Highway Patrol says in all, they dealt with 120 crashes due to those icy roads. And in Davis County, the school district there starting 2 hours late because of the conditions. Drivers we spoke with were happy with crews who cleared the roads and say storms like this are just part of living in Utah.
We struggle with storms here sometimes when they first, everybody has to kind of get in the groove, but I think we do a great job and it hasn't been too bad.
Utah Department of Transportation says it will keep doing its part to clear those roads, but drivers also need to keep slick conditions in mind while behind the wheel. And it wasn't just UDOT that the storm kept busy today. Take a look at crews at Salt Lake City International Airport clearing away the snow. The airport sharing these pictures online, saying it's the first snow removal of the season.
And one man hospitalized after crashing into a TRAX train earlier today. It happened near 32nd South and 27th West in West Valley City. Investigators saying that the train operator was not sure if the driver was actually turning across the tracks or making a U-turn. The driver had to be cut out of the car.
Extrication was needed on the for the driver of the vehicle, and doors were cut off the passenger side.
The operator and 2 passengers were on the train when the crash happened. We're told they are all okay. Police will be looking at the train's cameras as part of their investigation. And tonight, an elementary school teacher receiving praise for her quick action, even though what she thought may have been gunshots in the school turned out to be sounds from a science experiment. Now, the teacher at Granger Elementary in West Valley City called 911 after hearing the loud noises. A massive police presence responded, but when police arrived, they discovered the sounds were from the experiment in a nearby classroom. Despite the situation not being what she thought, a district spokesman says this teacher did exactly the right thing.
And again, we have no criticisms about this teacher contacting 911 in the fashion that she did by virtue of the fact that she thought she heard gunshots. That was absolutely the right thing to do.
The district says ultimately what happened yesterday was an opportunity to see how a situation like that would play out and try to learn lessons from what they can.
Vigils planned for tomorrow across Idaho to honor 4 students murdered in a home near their campus. It's been nearly 3 weeks now since they were killed, and the killer remains on the loose. One of the victims' fathers speaking with ABC News and is providing some additional details, including why the first call to police was over concern a roommate was unconscious.
I know the girls reached out via texting and calling, so I can only assume that by the phones being ignored, knowing how my daughter is not going to ignore calls and texting.
Candlelight vigils will happen at 6 p.m. our time tomorrow. Colleges across the state of Idaho will host their own vigils at the same time to show their support for the victims up at the University of Idaho.
And hospitals say they are seeing the impact of a triple threat of illnesses in children. The Bear River Health Department saying that illnesses are spreading in schools. The Brigham City Community Hospital saying that kids are being admitted with the flu, COVID-19, and respiratory illnesses like croup and RSV.
You know your kids. If they are really not feeling well, if they are just really lethargic, if they're not wanting to do their normal activities, if they don't want to eat or drink, please make sure that you are getting them evaluated.
The Box Elder School District saying that 20 to 25% of its elementary students are out sick.
Look out below. Demolition now underway on the old state prison site in Draper. Crews beginning first by tearing down the decades-old prison guard tower. Local leaders gathering to celebrate the event, signaling a new chapter in redevelopment, the site into what is going to be called The Point. Former Utah Governor Gary Herbert expressing his gratitude to leaders and the community who were involved in Utah's innovative community and moving it forward.
As we work together between Utah County and Salt Lake County, a place of innovation, of technology development, certainly to help us have sustainable economic growth and development for generations to come.
The 600 acres of state land will be a mix of business, housing, trails, and much more.
We do have an update tonight on the mission to save a cat that was stuck in a drain pipe in Copperton. Now, that pipe was located at Rio Tinto Kennecott property. Today, they sent us photos that show paw prints leading away from that pipe. Also today, Walter, who's been missing for days and was believed to be the cat stuck in the pipe, returned home. And as you can see, Walter enjoyed a nice homecoming meal. So was it really Walter down that pipe? Well, we may not know for sure, but we do know he is home tonight.
Kind of seems like it. Coming up, the Senate passing a landmark bill aimed to protect marriage equality. We'll show you how it impacts marriage laws and what comes next before it can be signed into law.
And still ahead, lava continues to flow from the world's largest active volcano. Communities appear safer now, but we'll show you why government leaders are urging everyone to stay prepared.
And a pretty sunset following stormy weather. This one from Spanish Fork. Thanks to Brian for sending it our way. Weather at abc4.com for all your pictures and videos. We're tracking our next storm and Utah's most accurate forecast.